Yo. If you tune in to me, you watching The Dribble on Gully TV. Wanted to get on here real quick and drop some footnotes on a discussion I just had with one of my associates. He an MC. He's on my PILLMATIC series. I think he on PILLMATIC 2. But I spoke to him earlier today. And he went to that party. He went to Prince's party, which happened last night in New York. Shout out to everybody who attended. He went to Prince's party, and he hit me up this afternoon. He was like, yo, I think that shit with Bimmy, everything that they were saying, he said, I think that is true. And I said, why? Because he wasn't at the party? He said, nah, he wasn't there. And I told him, you didn't think that he was gonna be there, did you? And he kind of laughed or whatever. And he like, man, that's crazy, man. Nobody that you see online is like really authentic. Like a lot of people be role playing and shit. And I was telling him, I was like, outside of professional athletes, entertainers, and entrepreneurs, the YouTube shit, the social media shit, it's not for everybody, but everybody wants to be a part of it. And in regards to the guys who was, a part of big time drug organizations or big time, drug kingpins and shit like that, a lot of them, everything is only associated with that. Mind you, a lot of this shit was a long time ago. In some cases, 40 years ago, you know what I'm saying? 30, 40 years ago. And when these guys come to YouTube, they get that spotlight again, that glorification. Like, it was a time when, before cell phones took over, everybody hustled on the block. Everybody hustled on the block or in projects, in the projects and shit like that. Everybody was outside, you know what I'm saying? And if you was a part of that, you just know that it was an intoxicating period. It was really something. It was really something to be outside. And it was the shit. It was just being outside all day. Everybody know you. It's like being big man on campus and shit. Like, like you going to a university with a scholarship and everybody know you. But that's what it was like when we was all pumping outside and shit. It was just intoxicating, man, to get fresh and be outside. Everybody know you. Everybody know your name. All the bitches know you. All the bitches checking for you. Like chicks would come from other places, other neighborhoods, other walks of life to come to the ghetto, come to the projects and hang out and watch street niggas hustle and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that I spoke about this, I believe, on one of my albums. There was an interlude and I was speaking about the dice games and shit like that. That's how I got my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how my name grew exponentially. Being outside, being in big dice games with big time hustlers and drug kingpins. Like, everybody would be there and the broads would be standing out there watching that shit. And it was just like a show. Like when you see Paid in Full, that shit, that scene, that Willie Burger scene, when they all out there, that's what it was like. And it was very, very, very addictive. And it was the show. It was the stage. Like, we were street stars. You were essentially a street star. In some cases, niggas that was in the streets was more popular than pro athletes. Real talk. And when these guys come to the internet, these guys who used to have that spotlight, when they come to the internet, they're reintroduced to the spotlight again. You know what I'm saying? And, after they get on the internet and do their interviews and shit like that, people calling them. You might be in a grocery store or mall people walking up to you, talking about your interview or, you know, your story and shit like that. You could be going somewhere to buy a new car. The car dealer, he online, he done seen you, and it's just something intoxicating about it. And before you know it, these guys be chasing that shit. They be chasing that shit, and they keep coming back to the internet over and over and over. A motherfucker only got to tell a story really one time, but these guys will go on tour and just keep on getting on the fucking internet. In regards to the Bimmy situation, Bimmy was somebody who, as far as the spotlight, he was running with Run DMC and LL Cool J and people like that. He was even recently running with Tracy Morgan. So he was somebody who got used to the spotlight, and had he not been, you know, like parading around YouTube all crazy and shit like that, the shit that he did back in the day, whatever he supposedly did with, I guess, Big Nose Troy, whatever his name got mixed up in, it might not have came to light had he not been on the internet. When you get on the internet, all eyes is on you. Straight up, all eyes is on you. It's a lot of scrutiny. And I know from being in this position that a lot of people will develop a distaste for you by seeing you, you know, in the spotlight, or seeing you highlighted and shit. And because of that, people will try to, you know, find holes in your story and shit. Like, if you read the comment sections, it's a lot of times it's more negative shit being said than praise or positive shit. Like, it'd be a lot of people like taking shots and saying, you know, rotten shit. And when Bimmy came to the internet, he exposed himself to that. I was just thinking about how popular he was just like 3 years ago. He was on Hip Hop Uncovered. That was on TV. That was on, I think, Fox or FX. He was on Hip Hop Uncovered. He done did everybody's mainstream podcast. He was on, I don't know if he's on Drink Champs, but I know he was on my Mad Pop, My Expert Opinion. He was on my shit. He was everywhere that was like high profile. He was almost like the man of the hour. And now, you don't see him nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't see him nowhere. And that party that just happened last night, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin in regards to his, I don't know, his legacy or whatever. Getting back to my point, this internet is for entertainers, entrepreneurs, professional athletes. People outside of that shouldn't fuck with it, because we've seen nothing but destruction and incarceration and death happen to hustlers and shit, guys that's from the streets to be fucking around with this internet. Like, we watched Alpo become addicted to it. That same spotlight that he was getting when he was back hanging at Willie Burgers, 125th. And you seen him. It went from him being a secret. Troy Reed wrote about it in his book. He was in witness protection. He came to New York City. Him and Troy Reed went out to eat, and some youngins spotted him. I was like, yo, ain't you Alpo? And he could have said no. He said, yeah, because he got that recognition. They noticed him. Troy Reed said he looked over there and he was taking pictures. He was like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? And it's an addiction associated with this shit. This is not for criminals. This is not for street gangsters. This is not for anybody, especially anybody who got skeletons in their closet. I promise you, there's nowhere for you to hide. If you got skeletons in your closet, you will be found. You know why? Because a motherfucker who wants some spotlight and wants some notoriety is gonna message one of these platforms. A lot of the information that you see that ends up developing online, it comes from people, regular people watching the internet, and they be wanting to be a part of the show. They be wanting to be the part of the show, and they inboxing information, screenshots, DMs. No, the story happened like this. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and you can't hide if you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And this is essentially why you don't see Bimmy anymore. I can't believe how I got a lot of Bimmy content on my platform. Nobody watches that shit no more. I'm talking about none of them. I've checked the numbers. Them shits is dead. It was a point in time when these was very, very valuable pieces of content. You know what I'm saying? Because he's from the Supreme team. And he's in those pictures with Supreme and all of them guys and shit. Like, he was really a part of that shit. And now it's over with. It's almost like he's living on an island and shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. You can't hide if you got some skeletons in your closet. You can't hide. I was just watching a guy up for Debate TV. He a platform out of Detroit. He the guy that used to be bigging up Alpo all crazy. He got into it with Eon Williams from the DC Blacks channel. This is somebody, Eon, talking about you now. This is somebody who's big on the rat, paperwork, rat. This person's a rat. You know what I'm saying? This is what he do. Rayful Edmonds a rat. He should die. Rats should die. Rat. Up for Debate TV, and him had some type of conflict, and he just kept going back and forth with him until Up for Debate TV found paperwork on him. Eon tried to suppress. Your suppressed statements will be found too. And that's what he found on Eon. Eon didn't think nobody was ever going to find that because the statements that he gave, he tried to have them suppressed. But somehow they authenticated these documents and they found them. You know what I'm saying? And again, had he not been on this internet fucking around, he started out as an author. Had he just stayed in that capacity, he probably wouldn't have ended up in the situation that he's in now. They tell me he ain't been online for like 3-4 weeks now and shit. You can go to Up for Debate TV and check out the discovery that was made about Eon, the rat killer and shit. But as far as I go, I don't care who did what, man. I'm going to keep on putting out dope-ass content. I try to stay in my lane. Hip-hop, sports, fashion. Fucking with the fitness shit heavy now. But again, if you are not an entrepreneur, an athlete, or an entertainer, an MC, a musician, if you come from the criminal element, if you come from any type of criminal element, you should not be fucking with this YouTube shit. You know why? Because eventually you're gonna start, you chasing your high, chasing that high, that notoriety high, you're gonna keep going and going and going until you start spilling shit that you shouldn't be spilling from your past. Or you might start spilling information from somebody else's past. Whatever the case, this is not the place for you. This is not the place for you. We seen everybody who's been high profile online. Look at the RICO cases. So many RICO cases associated with rappers who have the criminal enterprises or gangs who associated with any type of criminal activity. Look at the Rolling 60s. Look at Big U and them niggas. They said 40% of that indictment was information extracted from YouTube, social media, podcasts, cell phone records, etc., etc., etc. Do not be on here fucking around, throwing your life away, trying to do what some of us been doing for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Some of us been doing this shit for 20. I started fucking around with these computers and shit, cameras, in 2004. 2004. When I first came to YouTube, it was like a happy place. It was a happy place. Soulja Boy, viral rap videos, you know, all of the content that was on the DVDs was being uploaded. But it was a colorful, happy place. Now, it's nothing but destruction. And it's not gonna go away because YouTube has taken place of network television. Niggas figure like, yo, if I can't get on TV, and I probably can't get on TV, I need to get on YouTube. I need to get on YouTube because everybody's walking around with their phones. This is the new television. This is the new network television. A motherfucker could be at home watching TV, watching the NBA finals, watching the playoffs, and they still got their phone in their hand. People will be on these phones all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you got any holes in your shit, you will be discovered, I promise you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get the notifications. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at IamGullyTV_. I got a personal page too, Dribble Almighty. Make sure y'all go check out my interview I just did with Bag Fuel. Peace.